we're live?
Yep.
Woo! Hey, guess what? This isn't a best of series. Hey. All right. I know it's noon. Is it exactly noon or a couple? It looks like it's 10 seconds before noon.
That's exactly noon.
Okay, so that means it's Festool Friday, and that means it's Festool Live. Woo! We are live today. We have one heck of an episode to go over with you. And I want to thank everybody who came out in Providence to say hi. We were there last week at this time showing all the new tools for 2023, and we're pretty stoked. Thank you for coming in and saying hi in the booth, and it was really nice meeting all of you. All right, so let's get the room going. Over here we got Big D.
Hey, everybody.
Behind the camera we have Chris, the unit. New homeowner,
Oh, man.
recently engaged,
Wow.
Cybert. Woo! We're so soaked for him. Over behind the board over here, we have Min Min.
Hi, how are you?
Down here, we have Sparky. Okay, and over here, we have Peyton. So I just want to make a quick announcement. Minnie fed Sparky a bowl of Boston baked beans, and he drank a cup of coffee, so we don't know how this episode's going to go. All right, I just should say lots of ground smoke. Okay, so as we go, I have a couple announcements, and Chris and Big D was so nice to make me little cheat sheets. Okay, I want to make sure I get this right. If you go to the Festool USA website and the Festool Canada.ca website or .com website?
That's what Canada.
FestoolCanada.com, you will see a tab. If you hit the tab, it says Festool Recharge. Make sure you go and check it out because all the dates are on there all the times. I'll tell you right now, on 4/13, that's April, right? 4 April, okay. That is Cerritos College. It's gonna be so much fun out in Los Angeles. The next week, we're in Austin at the Central South Carpenters and Millwrights. We're gonna be doing the Festool Recharge from there. And then the whole gang is going to George Brown College. We did a Festool Live from there last year. We won't be doing lives from these on 5/11. All right. Next, I'm almost done, I promise. Okay, I don't know if you've been on the websites, Festool USA and Festool Canada, but you gotta go check it out because this is the biggest giveaway we've had ever. Check out all the different prizes, and the reason I'm announcing this is on Sunday, April 2nd at 12 p.m., it's last chance to get involved with this, so make sure you go and register this weekend. I mean, I don't want to read off all these prizes, but man, I think there's 9 different prizes or different places. So it's going to be great. Register for my Festool account and go to the overview page for the submission form. You got that? I'm going to say it again, festoolusa.com/sweepstakes or festoolcanada.com/rules. Okay, guess what? I'm done. All right.
This is the good stuff.
This is the good stuff. So let's go back in time, and I believe this was 2020, and we were all having kind of fun then, and I did an episode on the KS120. That's the KAPEX. I couldn't believe it when I went back and reflected what number that was, episode 24. This is episode 132, everybody. So just recently, I did a Festool Live on the new KSC 60, the new cordless KAPEX. And that was episode 129, so just a few episodes ago. Well, listening to everybody around here and listening and watching everybody at the JLC booth last week, I came up with this idea. You can go back and deep dive in those 2 previous episodes. I'm not covering everything on these. Brent's online. He can answer your questions. Thank you, Mr. Shively. We really appreciate all your help. I didn't forget you this time. I have in the past. I don't want to again. But some of the things that have happened, and I've been listening to all of you, and I wanted to make a few points, okay? So it's just called the KAPEX KSC 60 versus the KS120. And it might help you make a decision. So let's go over here first. Chris, I want you to shoot over here and look at both these KPI. By the way, that's plural of KAPEX as KPI. I think everybody knows that. But if we look at the footprint standing upright in the portable position, the rolling position with the stands, they're identical. All right, it's because this is the KSC 60. It has a smaller footprint, but to go on the stand, it's the same stand. We have this bracket right here that you mount the KSC 60. The footprint is actually this big. I'll give you dimensions in a few minutes. Okay, and you can level it up and everything. In the previous episode, I don't know if I showed you this, but you can store extra saw blades on the bottom of that bracket. But here's where it starts to hit. I'm going to take it and I'm going to tilt it down here so you can see it. All right, and we'll leave them here. But you can see the height's different and the overall footprint of the base is different. Now this question came up, and the reason I'm mentioning this is because someone said, hey, I'm gonna build this in. I'm not gonna get the stand. I wanna build it in. I wanna save some space in my shop at home. It's never gonna leave. So if we look at the footprint, I wanna get some measurements to you. Peyton. So your dimensions, okay, are pretty simple. It's 27 by 21 with a 25-inch height. I put it in imperial for you. This one over here, the KS 120, is 32 by 24, okay, by 28. Now, you may measure this and go, ooh, that's a lot smaller than 32. Watch. What I measure in my shop at home is from here all the way back. The rails don't go out. It's a rail forward design. So it goes up against the wall in my shop. And I'm getting ready to build a new miter saw stand, and this is 32, where this one I could save a few inches when I build it in, and from the back of the turner here to here, that's 27. This footprint here is pretty short. It's about 14, 13 inches. So I wanted to point that out to you. It's got a small footprint, and when it's up, it's about, you save about 3 inches in height. So if you're building into maybe a little cubby area in your shop, you save some space. Did that make sense? I'm hoping. Okay. Now, what I want to talk about, it's obvious, and I'm going to use this for the US-Canada market because we deal here with Imperial. All the metric is on the website, but this has got this 60, it's a 60 millimeter diameter blade. It's actually a little bit more, no, it's got a 60, I'm sorry, time out. It's got a 60 millimeter depth of cut. This one I believe is 88. So I'm gonna go back and forth because someone asked me, why do I need this? And they were trying to decide between the two. And this happened yesterday, in fact. Somebody came here and said, I'm looking at this, but man, I'm always gonna buy bigger. So I'm gonna go over some dimensions with beveling and also in depth. This right away has a 3.5 inch depth of cut. So you can do a typical nominal 4x4, right? This one has a what? A 60 millimeter depth of cut, but a 2 3/8 depth of cut, or just about 2 3/8, roughly 2 3/8. So someone says, well, I may need that someday. So you gotta ask yourself, how often do I cut that above 2 3/8? Really think that out, and that may help you out in a decision if you're trying to choose your first KAPEX. I hope that made sense, but I can tell you right now, in my shop at home, I have this, and I don't utilize that depth of cut very often. 2 3/8 would be more than enough. And I've thought about this, I've thought about this, and I've thought about this. I am rebuilding my miter saw station, and I may want a smaller footprint because this hits the bottom of my cabinets in my shop at home. Okay, so just a quick thought process. Now, here's another thing that's been a learning curve, and I wanted to coach people on this when they get it. So, let's talk about the bevel on this. Okay, I did recently. It goes 46, watch, I'll show you how it's done. You take it like this, and if I'm going to the right, when I'm standing this is to my right, I press this button here, and I go this way. Oopsie. Yes, you have to take these off. Come on, I'm always used to the other KAPEX taking those off. Okay, and I'm gonna bring it. And if I push it again, this goes to 46 on the right. If I go to the left, okay, I can press it in and I can go to 47. Then I lock it in. Now here's what I want to get across to you. I'm going to put it at 45. And this is where I've run into this on both machines, and I started laughing when I was using this the other day. I know that I can get 1 9/16 inches. I can cut a 2x4 at a 45, but it has to be on the left side. I want to show you why. If I go to the right, okay, and by the way, the KAPEX has this situation as well. Right in here, look in here, Chris, okay? My dimension from here to here is 3/4, so I can only cut 3/4 on the right when I'm at 45 or 47. Follow me? I'm going to bring it to 47. You'll see it drop even further, and I can only do that. So if you're cutting thicker stock at a 45-degree bevel, thicker than 3/4, you've got to cut it when you're cutting from the left. I hope that made sense. Okay, now on the KAPEX, it's a little different. Yes, you're going to have more capacities. The KAPEX goes, and I love another difference between the two. You'll see that on the KSC, it's a little turn knob back here. On the KAPEX, you have, this is how you lock it. And I think that's sweet. I'm going to remove the fences here. Really easy. Whoopsie. Okay, and I've run in this before because I like to bevel everything on the right. That's just the way I am. I'm going to take it, and to go to the right, you have to turn this knob. Chris, get it on this. A lot of people don't know this. You have to turn that. That releases the little pin that stops at the 0-degree mark, okay? I'm going to take it here. I'm going to put it at 45, okay? And I want you to see this. By the way, this goes 47 either ways. I want you to come in here, and once again, you have your limitations here. Your board will hit here. So it's a thinner thickness here versus the other side, and I'll show you that. This here is 1 3/8 or 35 millimeter. I'm going to get the hole down here, and I'm going to bring it. Now I'm going to switch it over, and I'll bring it over here. And Chris, you'll see this in here. I have a much bigger thickness that I can bevel here on the left, and that is 55 millimeters or 2 3/16. Whew. I'm so glad I wrote that all down on these extensions. Can you see it in the? Just a little bit, okay. Because boy, that guy really remembers everything. Okay. Oh my God. All right, that brings me back to 2007, my first year with the Domino. I had stuff written all over these rooms, so I remember. All right. And I truly hope I didn't confuse you on those bevel settings, because you will run into that situation. I think with the KSC 60, where you're trying to cut a 2x4 and you're trying to bevel it, and you're doing it on the right, it doesn't work. Okay, you just tilt it to the left. It works fantastic, and that 1 9/16 is fine. Okay, now the next thing I want to talk about is this is cordless, okay, and this is corded. So somebody asked me in Providence last week, why would I need this? I have this. I go, you ever go to a job site and you're fighting for a junction box? And he goes, yeah. And I go, wouldn't it be nice? You could walk up like this, plug in, take your CTC MIDI out in the garage while everybody else is fighting in the house for that box. No extension cords to trip on, and you're completely autonomous right there. It is amazing how everything works in conjunction. I was really impressed at the show how we had little or no dust off of that. Okay, of course this is corded. They're both extremely well powered. This is a brushed motor. This is a brushless motor. So everybody freaked out on this because they could not believe the power on it and the longevity of battery use. Gil, our rep, was on it all weekend, and he was blown away at how long the batteries lasted. Brent did a 2x8 demonstration, or a video of cutting a bunch of cuts on 2x8. And I believe he got 174 cuts on 2 full charges of 5.2 amp hour batteries. So you got a great longevity on this. And by the way, that was SIP, Southern Yellow Pine, and you get great longevity with it. So this is stacking up to be one heck of a tool, and we're gonna have a big release on this soon. Okay, so the other thing that I want to talk about capacities with this, because a lot of people don't understand this. They go, oh, this is an 8 1/4 blade, and this is basically a 10-inch blade, right? They think, Travis told me this, they're like, oh no, I want that 12-inch capacity. This cuts 12 inches. Okay, or 304 or 305 it says in the spec sheet. So I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna put this board, and let's get a measurement on this. Come over here, hot shot cameraman. This is 12 inches or 300 millimeter. Okay, always use a hold down, my friends. Okay, and you're gonna see, of course, anybody who's been cutting with a KAPEX, I'm gonna make sure I have my laser on here. Okay, and I'm gonna make that cross cut. I'm gonna take that same board, I'm gonna bring it over here. And did you notice, hey, I'm gonna make you run around, big unit.
I need it.
This is the hold down for the KAPEX, and it works on either side. One comes with it. It's one heck of a hold down. But on this unit, I'm gonna put these fences on real quick. They're easy on and off. The KAPEX KS 120 is an easy on and off as well. All right, but we give you one hold down. Okay, and I'm gonna lock it in here, and it goes in from the back. Right here, there's a little notch. It's our typical, you may already have a screw clamp. I'm gonna I turned on the laser on that. This has got a shadow line. I'll go over that in a minute. And I'm gonna bring it down, so I lock my board in. Okay, and I'm gonna make the cut. And of course, because of Bluetooth, that automatically syncs. The CTC MIDI, I didn't even have to think about it. I synced it this morning. So it's kind of effortless. It has the KSC 60 has a 12-inch or 305 crosscut capacity. It's because of the rails. So I wanted to make sure you understood that. Whew. Okay, MITA. On the MITA scale, on the KS 120, boy, I'm gonna wake up in the middle of the night going KSC, KS. I'm gonna be Mr. Model number. It goes 60 to the right and 50 to the left. On this one, come here, cameraman. On this one, the KSC, the cordless, it's really nice. It goes 60 both ways. So that makes it really, really awesome for a lot of trim guys out there. Now, the thing is you're going to knock something out, some quick casing and some quick base. Why do you want to lug that? That's 47 pounds. That's still the lightest 10-inch out there. It is wicked light. But knock off the batteries, you put them on the charger in the van, bring this in, and it's 37 pounds, it's 10 pounds lighter. Okay, but does that make a difference if you're going from house to job every day, in and out of the van, in and out of the shop? It makes a difference. All right, I hope that made sense. Boy, it's still, both of them still have notching features. But let's talk about this. Let's start over there, Chris. I'm gonna grab another piece of plywood so we can see this. Because I didn't know about this feature. I didn't know how I would feel about it, because I've seen it on other machines before. But boy, our engineers nailed this, and I really like it. And I may switch out in my shop to the KSC, even though I have an outlet right behind my KAPEX. Okay, I'm gonna bring this over. And yes, it has a laser. What's in between the laser lines is gonna go away. That's the kerf. It's fully adjustable. I am gonna show you sometimes that gets mucked up a little, and you have to use a posi drive screwdriver. It has to be a Festool. Whoop, 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 whoop. Okay, but to remove the lens, it's right here. And you see I can't get it out. All right, and sometimes for me, if that laser's not crystal clear, before I adjust it, I will take this out, and hopefully we can get this. This gets covered up with pitch. I've seen this lens completely covered up. So what you do is you just take a microfiber rag, you clean it off, and what happens is if that gets a lot of pitch on there, it'll start to diffract, and then you think you have to adjusted, and you don't, and you just take that posi drive number 2 and screw it right back in. Remember, it's got to be a Festool screwdriver. Okay, so let's go over here. And this is a little bit different, but once you get used to it, you can dial this in. When I say dial it in, your eyes can dial it in. And Chris, hopefully we can get this. There's a shadow line right here. And if we look, and I'm going to take it like this. And if you see, the shadow line is exactly in the center of the curve. So here's some benefits to this. It's lights. It creates the shadow. You go and you get more pitch on the blade, it doesn't matter, okay? It adjusts automatically. You get it sharpened, it adjusts automatically. There's no adjustment to the shadow. To clean the lens, it's right here in the front. I always have and you just pop it off. Oh, from the other side. You just pop it off, use that microfiber rag, clean it off like that, and there's your lens. So I would say the only thing you have to do, or maintenance on this, is to clean the lens. And you just put it back in there like that. It's wicked easy. No screwdriver, no nothing. Okay, let's see. I'm trying to think of anything else to cover with you folks. I think I covered, you know what, I'm just gonna do this because I want to. I got this walnut, and I think I was chopping this up for the other episode, but this has got some gnarly grain in it. I'm just gonna bring it in, and I want you to see the quality of cut on this. It is so impressive. So I'm gonna take it out. Look at that shadow line. I've seen so many people, even with the KS 120, they take it and they think they gotta do 2 or 3 cuts. You don't. And look at that cut. It's absolutely outstanding. Look at that. It's a really nice cut. It's perfect, if you ask me. So, wow, that went fast. I'm looking at my notes really quick. Boom, 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 boom. Did I mention it was cordless? Yes. Boom. Okay, I think that's it. Okay, hopefully that made sense to you. Thank you again, everybody coming into the booth last week at the big show we did in Providence, Rhode Island at JLC. You give me all kinds of content here for Festool Live. Make sure, everybody, that if you're in Los Angeles or close by, or if you're in Austin, you're close by, or if you're in Toronto, because that's how they say it. Connor caught me. I was saying Toronto, and he goes, Sedge, say it right. I went, Toronto. Okay, please come out and see us. We'd love to meet you, and you will see all these killer tools in action. Okay, I haven't done this in 2 weeks. I gotta remember my pronunciations. We got Doug from Zionsville. Boy, he's here all the time. How you doing, Doug? We have Matt from Tinley Park, Illinois. We have Tom and Kelly from Eatonton, Georgia. You're always with us. Michelle from Paris, France. You're always with us. Thank you. George from Tallinn, Estonia. Mike M. from Austin, Texas. I know I'm going to see you in Austin, Mike. Hey, Dirk! It is. It's him. It's Dirk from Dayton. How are you? We have Gary from Plano, Texas. Zolaf from Poland. Marcus from Woodcraft, Springfield. Christopher from Malta. Chris from Malta. Larry from Sun City West. Des from Harrogate, England. Jacob from Rhode Island. How are you, Jacob? William from Hatfield, Virginia. Johnny Ringo. Oh, from Sears, Port, Maine. Love it. We have Steve from Bermuda. Soren from Denmark. Joey from Orange Grove, Texas. Willie the Sparktrician. He's from Virginia. Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. We have Bob from South Devon, England. We have Paul from Bozeman, Montana. We have Rick from sunny Blackpool, UK. We have TWM from Roseborough, Wales. I know I'm messing that up. I'm reading a book that was written with a lot of Welsh in there. We have Warped Woodsman from Portland, Oregon. I know them. We have Garrick from Lincoln, Nebraska. We have Aronzo from Mississauga, Ontario. Hey, there you are, Lincoln. We have Chad in Colton from South Whitley, Indiana. We have Vega, the Netherlands. What a great guy. Oak Ridge, New Jersey. Jerry G from Chicago or Chi-Town. We have Dan from Kingman, Arizona. Kurt from Rochester, Michigan. Dana from Yakult, Washington. Jason from Fenton, Michigan. Andrew from Toledo, Ohio. We have Johnny O from Atco, New Jersey. Dave from Israel. Norman from Los Angeles. Peter Halley, how are you, Peter? Yazoo from Paramaribo, Suriname. Leo from Holland, Monty from Canton, Connecticut, Warren from Batavia, Ohio, Joey from Simmons, Alabama, Norman from Huntington Beach, Cali. We have Dale from Swaterland, England, Jim from Pensacola, Florida. We have Sam from Kingston, New York, Johnny from Huffman Estates, Illinois, Julian from Lausanne, Switzerland, Bob K from Columbia, Tennessee, Tim from Western North Carolina. Oh my goodness, Minnie. Woo! We have Francis from Boucherville, Quebec. Randy from Roscoe, Illinois. Hard to name Jay from. What's the kind of name is that? Hard to name Jay from Atlanta, Georgia. I thought it was hard to name Jay. Tim from LaCavelle, Massachusetts. Chris from Georgetown, Kentucky. Jan from Denmark. Peter from the Netherlands. Dave and Kim from Rio Rancho, New Mexico. John from Thornville, Ohio. Kenneth from Oak Park, Illinois. Jeeve from Shaker Heights, Ohio. Dan from Whitestone, New York. You're always there, Dan. Thank you. Gary from Durham. Mark from Anaheim, California. Dave from Virginia Beach, Virginia. Mark from the Netherlands. Columbus, Ohio. Ed from St. Paul, Missouri. Joe from U.S. Tool and Fastener. Nicholas from Belgium. We have Adam from Brooklyn, New York. Gary from Bees with the Boys. See you tonight, buddy. LD from Strongville, Ohio. Ant from Fontana, California. I love that name, Ant. Okay, we have Minnie.
Yeah.
WWD TV.
Yes.
WDD TV from Southside Indy. We have Adam from Union, Maine. See you tonight, Adam. Paul from Reading, Berkshire, UK. Fifi. Oh, I love that. Was that Fi-Fi? Fifi. Fifi from Sylvania. John from West Fairleigh, Virginia. Brad from LaGrange, Indiana. Peter from Petri from Yolavi, Finland. Joseph from Bellevue, Nebraska. Matt from Newark, Ohio. Dev from White River, South Africa. Russ from Chichester. Alvin from Denmark. Giacchino from Bethel, Connecticut. Apo from Finland. San Francisco, California. Anthony from Staten Island, New York. Yosef from Slovakia. Jeff from Raymond, Maine. Alan from Wales. Phil from Thousand Islands, New York. You ever been there? It's awesome. It's beautiful. Pascal from Belgium. Tracy from Paola, Texas. I love that. Paola, Kansas. Christoph from Belgium. Cameron from Annapolis, Maryland. Bland, Portland, Oregon. See how we say Oregon?
Bland from Portland.
Bland from Portland, Oregon. Dwayne from Florida. Okay. Roby Juan Kenobi from Corinth, Texas. Okay, next. Is there anything on the back here?
No.
Okay, we have Joe. Joe, that's our buddy Joe from Akron. We have Garrick Sato. I know somebody by that name here. Adrian from Cork, Ireland. Mike from Merced, California, or Merced, California. Davante and Lana Smith from Toronto. And Serge from France. Okay, I want to call out 6 dudes that I hung out with, or 5 dudes I hung out with. I spent time in Massachusetts, in Methuen last week, and I want to call out some of my best friends that I grew up with. There was Goo, there was Stevie, there was Gregoire, there was Murph, and there was Fitzy. And I want to say thank you guys, because I had one of the best days all year hanging out with you. And it was so much fun. I sat down. There were some of them I hadn't seen in 40 years. And we sat down, and it was like I was still in high school. Thanks for a great time. All right, Tim from Hingham, Mass. Anybody else, man?
Nope.
Woo! Okay, I want to thank everybody in this room. I want to thank Brent from working online. I want to thank you, Sparky, for not being what I thought you were going to be. And it makes every day great here at Festool USA. I want to say this. I say it every single time. We love you. We thank you so much for tuning in. It's like we hadn't done this in 2 weeks, and we really missed you. Thank you from our hearts. We'll see you next week. Yes? Oh, I got a really good build plan for next week, don't I, Chris? Okay, it's going to be a lot of fun. It's a really good technique with the domino. And be careful tomorrow. You know, everybody knows what tomorrow is. It's April 1st, so be careful. Okay, good. Stay tuned. And what else? Have a fantastic weekend. I know we all are. And that's it. I think that's a wrap at 1:32, Big D. So you guys hang in there.